once again, we gather in search of the truth, dark, and mystery. It's the Drunk Turkey Show.
Big development today in the investigation into the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. According to state and local officials and court documents, 28-year-old Brian Christopher Koberger has been arrested. He was arrested and arraigned this morning in Pennsylvania.
We have new details on what Brian Koberger was doing right before his arrest. Police says a tactical team burst in to arrest the Idaho murder suspect. He was in pajamas and latex gloves, stuffing trash into Ziploc bags.
Hey, greetings from the year 3000. It still sucks. This is Philip J. Fry, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show. Your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
Just like every other podcast. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the DT Show. I'm Daniel, and today we got a great show for you guys. Sorry, I've been out for a little bit of time. Long story short, I had a little bit of a hiccup there with my vehicle, and I'm back though, and so glad to be here. Thank you for everybody that wished me, all the good things that you guys did. I really, truly appreciate it. You guys touched me in my heart. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for everybody that checked in, all your thoughts and prayers. I'm okay. Just kind of dealing with some stuff, so it's probably not going to be the longest show, but we're going to get down to it, and we're going to talk about what's going on in the Nancy Guthrie abduction, ransom, and, let's see. There's a lot of news that have been going on the last few days. The Guthrie family have released a couple of different videos and, talking about, wanting to talk to the abductors and saying that they're ready to talk. And we're gonna have a special guest tonight. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. And we have Dr. Jamie Vona, who's going to be joining us tonight. We're going to be talking about this case, and I'm glad you're here because there's a lot that I've been wanting to get your insight. There's been a lot of conspiracy, a lot of thought, a lot of speculation, a lot of accusations too. And so great to be here. I thank you for joining us. How you doing tonight? Oh, you're muted. Yes. Cannot hear you. Check the audio settings. I'm not sure.
Oh, wait, can you hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Okay, I had my microphone muted. My bad.
No problem. It's a live show.
I know. I literally got home right before we started. So I do apologize to everyone. Partially why we're late is because I just got here. Thank you for having me. How are you feeling with your accident? Update everybody. Let them know that you're alive, but
I'm alive. I'm okay. I can't get into too much details about it.
Sure.
I have gotten seeking advice. And so the advice that I've been given is not to speak too much about it. So
don't say anything at all.
Exactly. And so I'll just say that I'm alive.
Alive. That's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to thank everybody for their thoughts and prayers. It's truly, truly appreciative. You guys mean the world to me. And so thank you guys. Now we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie abduction, disappearance. This is the first time we get to talk about it, and I've never gotten your opinion on this. So, news comes out that there's a ransom, maybe perhaps some details that only the abductor would know, and that there's an abduction with a high-profile co-anchor of the Today Show, Savannah Guthrie, her mom being involved. Did you buy it? Did you believe it? Are you taken back by it? Where are you now?
Okay, so I still am let's be honest. I'm the therapist, not really the crime scene person. But at first I was like, what's happening? Now, this is the thing. So I was all over the place with this, but then I was like, let's look at this like you're a behavior analyst and not like me per se. So what I did was I started to think about some things, and I was like, there's certain like this person they came with gloves, a mask, a backpack. They have all of the things. So it doesn't look like it was just some, like, somebody just that was going through the neighborhood. It looked like it was somebody that was prepared. That's the word I'm looking for. They came prepared. They had the backpack on. I noticed the backpack's nice and tight. It looked, So in other words, I feel like this person knew what they were going there for. And in my opinion, spotted this house, which I always thought, but I don't know who it could be. I mean, there's obviously speculation of all different things. I listened to Ashley Banfield's speculation, but I listened to other speculation. So I don't know where I am with who could have done this, like why somebody would have wanted to do this. The only thing I could think of is that it had to be somewhat financially motivated. What do you think?
Well, I mean, if it truly was an abduction for ransom, right? So that's the first question is, was this an abduction for ransom? Was this a robbery gone wrong, turned into something happened, turned into a misdirection by utilizing the tool of a ransom, by saying, hey, give us this money. We have her here. We've taken her out of the state, which I don't think they have. And the reason I don't think they have is because, one, they didn't contact, they contacted TMZ, but they also contacted like local news stations. And so that was pretty huge for me to tell me that the person that committed this crime is probably local to that area. And then they go into saying that we'll bring her back, to Tucson if, you guys oblige by these rules. And to me, I just kind of felt like maybe perhaps this was a robbery gone wrong, and they're trying to hide their tracks, and they're trying to use misdirection and say, hey, we got this ransom. We're actually these folks, and it's actually somebody else, maybe somebody a lot closer. But the fact that, arrests haven't been made and there's been some seizures and stuff. I know that a vehicle was seized and there was blood found at the residence. You would assume, given the fact that this wasn't a situation where the person would have had a lengthy period of time to clean up the car, i.e. Brian Koberger. He had 7 weeks and the knowledge behind, how to clean up a vehicle. That's not the scenario here. And I feel like there should have been something a little bit more concrete to point to somebody close, like a family member. Now, one of the family members has been accused pretty extensively. I think Ashley Banfield said that she had sources that stated that they were, law enforcement was looking at him very heavily. And, she kind of walked that back not too long ago, kind of saying, hey, things change. As evidence comes in, things will change. And so maybe what they thought when the source gave her the information may have been accurate. It may not be accurate anymore. Now, I don't know if she's walked that back since then, but that was the last I had heard of it. What are you aware of?
That's a good question. I'm not sure either. I'm sure people in chat know if she's walked it back or not. But she did keep saying, like, I feel like she said that this was somebody that she had no reason to, that she really trusted their insight. So I don't know. I think, in my opinion, for the last that I've heard, is that she's always been like, look, this is what I've been told. Can we be absolutely positive? No, it's alleged. But I think she's just being a reporter, right? If she didn't report that, it would almost be like, what the hell's the point? So I feel like that's like her thing. So of course she's going to report it, in my opinion. So if she's wrong, I'm not going to bash her for that, because again, she's a reporter. And if somebody comes to her that seems, credible and gives her information, as a reporter, I would assume that you come forward with that. And she did tell us all that this was coming from a source, that it wasn't, firsthand knowledge. Right.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so, I was taken back by it. I don't know, and it may, like I said, I'm still on the fence on a lot of things. I haven't made my mind one way or the other.
Me either.
I think that when something like this typically happens, I mean, if you're looking at statistics, it's usually somebody who they know. Very rarely is it somebody outside of, the circle, so to speak, of knowing them. But let's look at a couple of things that have broken down. I want to bring up the video. I want to look at it. I want to point out a few things that I have seen. I know somebody in the comment section that somebody was detained for questioning. I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, send that to me. Let me see.
I feel like this person was familiar with the house, at least, because I feel like when we see him walk up, so I was like, wait until we get the video part, but when we see him walk up, I don't know if you think this, but I think he's wearing one of those, it's like a flashlight that you keep in your teeth. You like bite on it. I'm dying to see what you have to say about that.
Oh, he's doing that to obstruct the camera.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know if he was doing that because it was so dark there, but I'm not an investigator, but I'm like, I do research. So I'm like trying to apply my research skills to an investigation. So I went on ChatGPT because everybody knows I love AI. And I asked it to count the number of bricks, and it got like the average size of bricks. And like, so when we get to this, I have like a guesstimate of what AI thinks too.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, so it's true. Person detained for questioning and abduction of Nancy Guthrie. ABC News reports, Tucson, California. A person has been detained for questioning in connection with the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. A law enforcement official briefed on the investigation told ABC News. On Tuesday, the FBI released new images showing armed, masked individual outside of the Guthrie home in Tucson. And so we'll look at these images here in a minute. This is breaking news update. Stay with us for Channels 3 News. So I have a lot of things to say about the picture, about the images and things of that nature. Let's pull those up and let's talk about those, because I there's a lot that I noticed and a lot that I had seen. Dan, go to Discord. All right, let me see what's on the Discord real quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. Everything from the weapon that he has on him to his outfit to even the balaclava. In my opinion, he has a mask on underneath that too. So I'm dying to hear what you have to say about all that.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. So yes, Oro Valley Police confirmed that members of a regional SWAT team and bomb squad have been activated for an operation coordinated through Pima County Sheriff's Department as FBI elite hostage rescue team.
There's been an arrest
involved. Yeah.
Kel said there's been an arrest. Is that it?
Well, there's been a detention. There's been a detention.
Somebody's been said detained. There's been an arrest.
Well, that's kind of what that is.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, they put somebody in custody and they brought him in. They haven't formally charged him with anything yet. But yeah, we got breaking news, guys. This is going down right now. Interesting. Wow. I'm going to say that it's somebody fairly close. I was looking at some of the things that law enforcement were doing and the searches that they were focusing in on. You know, based on what the guy was dressed in, I thought that this guy walked a distance to have gotten there. It doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't drive there, but I do think he walked a distance before he got there. I think he tried to mask his, the direction that he came. There's a lot of things that I saw, but I have no idea who's in custody. Does anybody know? Let me see.
That's what I'm asking right now. Does anybody know? Dominic Evans. Who's that? Dominic Evans.
Well, somebody's been saying that's the drummer. I don't know if let me see what JLR is doing.
Yeah, right.
He's out there. Let's see where he's at.
Okay, so Kelly says someone has been detained, not free to leave.
Yeah.
So what you said.
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day,
yes, let's not put people's names out there that we're not sure of. So I do take that back. I didn't know if they put that out there. That's why.
So it was in the neighborhood of Annie Guthrie and Tommaso. So it's in their neighborhood, which is the same neighborhood that Nancy lives in. So again, I felt like it was somebody who lived very close. I felt like they walked there. Based on the direction that the search was going through, I felt like the person walked through that area, which the only thing that had questioned me about it was the mobility aspect. And so, she wasn't very mobile, but that doesn't mean that he didn't go there first, try to mess up the cameras and things like that, walk back, get a vehicle, and then go back there to pick her up. I think that's possible. But you know, let's see what's going on. This is in the neighborhood that they were apparently at. They were going door to door in that neighborhood trying to find something. It's on Fox News now. Oh, I thought I had this posted up. My bad. So this is here. And let me go to Fox News. What's going on there?
And even in the videos that we see, you don't see a car in the background, which I thought was interesting.
Right. And I saw this earlier. FBI leads hostage rescue team is in Arizona. Fox News detained Nancy abduction.
South Tucson.
Not yet anything yet, but so let's look at what we'll continue to monitor this. I'm gonna look at the Discord real fast, see what else we got going on. All right. Okay, so let's pull up really quick. So I know that earlier, here's the thing. Earlier there was some movement. They put into the Bitcoin account that was requested. $300 in Bitcoin was put in there. Do you think that was a way that they caught him?
Is that all it was?
Well, they asked for 6 million.
Oh, I was going to say,
but law enforcement, yeah, they only put $300 worth of Bitcoin into it. Now I wonder if they found a means of tracking them after putting the money in there.
Possibly, or it could be, or they could have a suspect from these videos. I feel like these videos are pretty revealing. It could be a compilation of all of it.
That's true. That's true. Email is drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com, guys. All right, so let's
ABC News is reporting it now, they said.
All right, we'll continue.
Yeah.
So this is the video here, and let me make this bigger for everybody.
So interesting.
So he has something in his front pocket here. I don't know if that's a gun.
I think it is.
That could be a gun. That's a level 1 holster, meaning that thing can fall out. So this is somebody who.
What do you mean it can fall out?
A level 1 holster means that there's like it just slides in and out. There's nothing holding it in.
Oh.
And so that looks almost like pouchy looking. That doesn't even look hard.
And he's holding on to it, so.
Yeah, there's definitely a gun.
Yeah. For sure. You see the handle at the top.
Yeah. And now what he's doing here is he's trying to hide his face from the camera. And then now he's messing with the camera a little bit.
Are you surprised he's doing it so lightly?
What do you mean?
Like, it doesn't look like he punched it hard. I mean, could we tell that? Maybe I just can't tell, and I'm thinking it looks like it's light.
It could. I don't think he's punching it. I think he was just trying to maneuver it. Gotcha. And now he's looking for something to cover it up. And the only thing that tells me this is he wants to mask the direction that he's going to go after this.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Because I mean, he's already on camera. What difference does it make? Unless he doesn't want law enforcement to know if he went right or he went left. Now, the direction that he walked up in doesn't really matter too much because that was without Miss Guthrie, who has mobility issues. And so you're not going to be able to walk this longer route with her that you may have walked to get there. And so whether he plans on pulling up in a vehicle or he doesn't want him to know which direction he went, he's trying to mask, in my opinion, his exit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Kind of. Yeah, no, it does. I didn't think of that, but that totally doesn't make sense. But I did notice that when he picks up those flowers to put it on top, that when we do see those blood pictures eventually, you see those flowers on the floor. So I thought that that was interesting. Like, is that what he grabs right now, is the flowers?
He's grabbing some brush or something of that nature, but yeah.
Yeah, I call it flowers. I guess it's brush. In Philadelphia, it looks gorgeous. So it's brush where they are. It's flowers where I live.
So he's looking around. This is where he finds some stuff to pull up. See, he's walking from the left, and he has a flashlight on,
Mm-hmm.
and he turns it on as he's walking and puts his head down. To me, that tells me he's aware that the camera's there.
For me too, I thought maybe he turned it on real quick just to look up to see where he was going and then like turns it off. I mean, I don't know though.
See, this is when he's walking up. He's looking straight. Let me rewind a little bit here.
And then he puts his head down and turns it on, right?
Yeah, he turns on the light so he can
Mhm.
see.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So he could see what was in front of him. Made me wonder, does that mean that he doesn't
He
know where
knows
he's
there's a
at?
step.
Okay.
No.
I think he's
Look,
familiar.
he turns it on. Let's see. Why don't you look? Look at where he points it at. The light is right here on the steps.
That's right. Oh, so he knows that there's a step coming up.
He knows there's a step there.
Good catch, Daniel.
So he points it at the step, sees the step, and then jumps and
Oh,
then goes up.
definitely.
And then this is him trying to put this on there. Now he has the camera in his mouth, and this is intentional. He's trying to, in my opinion, I think he thinks that the camera's not going to capture him with the light in his face.
I agree with you. And I think that because I was thinking, why would he put this stuff in front of it now at this point? Because he was already shown his face. But could he just think that, like you said, the light in his mouth was going to like deflect it and they weren't going to be able to see him? Because I think if anything, it just shows us more his eyes and stuff like that, where I feel like it backfired.
I do too.
Didn't he also take the camera? So maybe he thought
He
that
did take the
would be good
camera.
if he took it.
Yeah. I think he got fed up. I think he got concerned that it captured too much of him. Now he has the flashlight in his mouth. This is why this is interesting, because he's eventually going to take the flashlight out of his mouth, and guess what's going to happen?
What happens? I don't remember that part.
Well, his flashlight is going to have his DNA in his hand now.
Oh, you think it? Oh.
So I would start looking at things that he would have touched and start taking those DNA swabs, because there's saliva on his hand.
I didn't see it come out of his mouth. Did we see that?
I mean, I doubt he's walking the entire time with it in his mouth.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're assuming that maybe he takes it out?
Yep.
Because if he doesn't take it out, you could produce saliva that way too.
Right. So I think eventually he's going to take it out, and boom. Now the flashlight has it. Now the flashlight's in his hands. It doesn't matter if he's wearing gloves. Now you start checking the handles. You start checking all these things. Now, the only thing that kind of maybe perhaps throws a little wrench into it is the fact that they did release the property, and I think the family had gone to the house in the morning. And so that's the only thing. Now, if it's somebody who is, you're expecting to find family members there, their DNA. And so if you don't find anything there that is outside of the norm, that could raise some suspicion towards those that are familiar to the home and familiar to her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. How do you think then that blood got in the front?
I don't know, but it was reportedly hers.
It looked like a cough to me.
There was mist. Yeah, it looked like a cough to me as well.
Oh, it did?
Now, I don't know if that was because she was bleeding and coughed up blood, if that's something that she's going through. I mean, she may have. I know she was going through I know that she was going through some medical issues. And
she
so,
was on blood thinners.
Right. So I don't know if that was something separate. I don't know if she got hit and then began to bleed.
Wouldn't we have saw it over here though, like on this ring cam, if it was there, like I would Do you mean like it's separate, meaning like a different day?
What do you mean? What was separate?
When you said like, is it separate? You said that it seems like it's separate. I didn't know if you meant like separate from the situation, or what did you mean by separate?
The blood?
Yeah.
No, so
Like
there was
you
two
do think
different
that it
types of
came
blood.
from this?
Right.
Oh, okay, got you.
There was two different types of blood
Types of
spatter. You had blood spatter that looked like it was dripping, and it looked like it'd been
Mhm.
dripping without any directional movement. So and then you had mist, and the mist particles were very close together. You know, kind of like birdshot. If you shoot a shotgun with birdshot, you know, the closer you are to the target, the cluster is going to be close. The further away you are, it's going to spread out. The fact that that was so close tells me that she was close to the ground when she coughed or spit up.
What are the
Now,
chances you think that he could be a female though? A lot of people are saying that this could be a female. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I'll look at the features a little bit harder here in a second. What do you think about
Sorry,
that
I
glossiness
interrupted
to
with
the
your blood
eyes?
splatter.
Oh, it's a fact.
Well,
What do you think
that's
about
the
the
thing.
eyes?
So the eyes, I feel like it looked almost like there's makeup on. I thought that before, but then I thought, what if he has on, or she or whatever has on, a mask underneath the balaclava, and that could be like the outline that I'm seeing of the mask? What do you think? Do you think there's another mask like, and the mustache or whatever, could that also be like a reflector of a mask underneath, or do you think it's facial hair?
I'm not sure. I'm going to look at those pictures a little bit harder, but to me, it almost it's hard to tell. But I
I have a
wonder.
picture.
I want. So yeah, is that part of a different mask underneath the mask? That's possible. I have the pictures as well. I'll pull them up here in a
Yeah,
second.
good, yeah.
I just wanted to see if I can find an image here, because it almost looks like he's wearing glasses under that at certain points. Let me pull up the pictures.
I see that too.
Now I'm gonna see what's going on here.
And then I can't wait to tell you guys what AI said about it all. AI thinks there's glasses too. So good job.
AI thought there was glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, that the person's wearing bifocals. And the reason why I think that is because it also appears that the eyes look larger. So let me pull up the pictures. Some of the screenshots that I have taken. So this is him walking with the gun. Look at the way he walks. Very, very straight. Toes are very straight. Look at, it's almost in a line. Look at the back toe where the front toe is.
That is interesting.
He's walking on a line.
I wonder if that's like OCD-ish type thing. And again, I'm not like diagnosing, I'm just saying the behavior. But look at the eyes there. I think people are saying about the female look, like if you look at that and I didn't see any height, I didn't see anything, I could see why somebody would think female there. It looks like the eyebrows are like done, but could it also be a mask underneath?
Well, it could be, but the reason why it looks like the eyebrows are done is because they're cut off. I mean, these could be some bushy eyebrows too. You know, it just appears that way because the whole of that is cut off.
Yes, I think there's another mask going underneath it, and that's what people are seeing. And I feel like that's what people think is eyebrows, but I don't think it is.
I think you just went mute. Yeah, you just went mute for some reason.
Sorry about that. I was saying I'm going to send you a picture because I was like, no, but there's a beard, there's eyebrows. And I was saying this to AI and it was pushing back at me, which I actually liked. And it was like, no, you're seeing this, but I see this.
Could that be
see it right there?
Could that be the frame of glasses?
Yes, that's what AI thinks at least.
Because when I looked at it, I felt like the eyes looked kind of oddly big. And that's usually an effect when you're wearing bifocals. And, you know, I know that, let me see. I know that some folks were we're looking at, where is my, we'll pull up another photo real quick.
And there's a face covering that I texted you that just so that you knew what I was talking about, that AI showed me that it could be that's underneath it. And it's like different. It's not one that I've seen before, but when I look at it and then I'm looking at what you have up, I see the outlines of it. So I'm like, that's weird. I sent it to you, but I think it could be something.
So these are two men that have been accused. This is Tommaso. And these are pictures that have been circulating. I think this is his band. That is too much of a mustache for that to have been him right there.
Yeah, but could you just cut it? Or is that recent?
It's longer.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's longer now. And so that's too much of a mustache for that to be him. This guy could have grown a mustache. I think people are looking at the fact that, you have the eyebrow shape and how low his eyebrows come into his eyes. But that doesn't look like the same eye shape to me. But it could be. I mean, the angle could be very wrong.
Is that the guy that people were saying, the drummer person, alleged?
Yeah. And there's this guy. This guy
I was going to say, look at his eyebrows. And his mustache and little thing underneath. Who's he? Oh my God, Daniel.
I mean, this is his band,
Okay.
It could be. I have no idea. Could somebody? Obviously, I think that if they knew him, they would have possibly known who his mother-in-law is, and who his sister-in-law is, So knowledge is key. Like, who would have known about about them?
And I also think about when you're with your band or your friends or whatever, I feel like people, like, you talk about your lives too, right? So, who knows the things that he could have said in front of them, just as like his buddies. And again, this is just alleged, but to where they might have known even more than maybe, you know what I mean? Just because of, like, I don't know, just a discussion of just regular talking that, could have put something in somebody else's head. Wow, Daniel, that's a little bit.
Maybe that doesn't look like him. I don't know. See, the weird thing is this guy looks a little bit bigger than the other one, and so does this one.
Wait, and if you look at the pupils, the one on the right, it looks like the right eye is going straight and the left eye is going a little bit to the one side. And if you look in the other one, the right, it looks like the right eye is going straight and the left eye is going a little bit to the side.
Yeah. I have no idea.
No, I don't either, but that is.
So this guy he seems kind of short.
Yeah, he does seem pretty short.
Comparable to everybody else. This guy, I couldn't tell you if he was a taller guy or not. So these are some
AI, it counted the bricks and did all the stuff and said that the estimate is approximately that the suspect is approximately 5'8" to 5'10". 5'8" to 5'11", sorry, 5'8" to 5'11", and it says that it's most likely a man and that the shoe size is most likely 10.5 to 11.5.
Well, we should be able to determine the shoe size based on the brick or the pattern on the floor, the tile. That should be very easy.
I agree.
That's an interesting way to walk around with a gun. That's one of those pouches. Like I said, it's like a level 1. That's actually supposed to go inside of the pants.
That's interesting. So does that mean that this person doesn't know how to use it? And maybe like why do you think they would have it on the outside if it's an inside?
They probably struggle taking it out.
Oh.
Especially if they had like, I don't know, man, this guy seems like he's packed up. I don't know.
Those shoes are distinctive, I feel like.
Yeah, they are.
They're sneakers. Like, I feel like they're distinctive, and I feel like so are the pants. Like, they're like cargo pants.
See, and I think AI did this. I got this off of somebody else did this, not me. But
Oh. That would be interesting because that does look a little different.
yeah, this is. I wouldn't look too much at that.
Yeah, that one looked almost like Truth Exposed with a balaclava on. So
Oh no, I mean he's got bigger eyes. And the other thing is too, apparently according to TMZ, the I guess the ransom note was well written. Started off with like deer and then something and was structured. I don't know,
that
maybe
would be weird.
maybe AI did it.
If I got to see it, I could tell you with a pretty good probability if it was.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it, like at spotting it if people use it. So I wonder if we'll ever get a chance to actually see it. I don't know, Daniel. Could that AI says that it's most likely a man, but I could see where people are seeing the female thing.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like Nancy was somebody that could have physically fought back regardless. You know what I'm saying? It could have easily
Yeah.
been a woman. You know, it could have been anybody because of her. What's the word I'm looking for? Her immobility. So you can't really overlook anyone. But it depends how big these are. If this is 12 foot, that's a pretty big foot for a lady.
Oh, you'd be surprised though. Texas Ranger said that he thinks that guy on the left looked pretty like, I don't know. There's something about the eyes and the eyebrows. And again, this is just a legend. You know, I don't even know who that person is, so it could be anybody. But
you see right here, this posture and this stance here, and the size of the head compared to the body, this and the size of the hands compared to the leg, are all indications that this is most likely a male.
I agree. But could his hands be like buffed up from wearing multiple gloves and stuff?
It could be. It very well could be.
I think it's a man. I agree. I think it's a man. I do. But I could see where people are thinking, could it be a female?
Why is he doing that? That's
I don't
bothering
know.
me.
That is
It's like almost like he's carrying a flashlight without the flashlight in his hand.
Unless he's trying to cover it so that you don't see his eyes, and maybe he's looking around somewhere and he's
Yeah, but why not just have your hand like that?
Yeah, you would think.
You know, you cover more that way versus
you're
like
true.
this.
That's true.
This is weird to me. I don't understand why this is doing that. What is he trying to do? You know,
I think what you were
I can
saying
see why
before,
y'all
like-
say that it does look like a lady in certain.
You're right. I think that you were onto something though when you said about repositioning it, maybe so that they didn't know, and then eventually just gets frustrated and takes it off. Like it looks like he's just tapping it or something.
Yeah, it looks like he's moving it around trying to see if it'll come off, but
Very like fragile. Like I mean, yeah, like lightly.
hey, look at that. He's a little bit. So remember I told you he was walking in a straight line? Look at it. He's got a little bit of bow-leggedness to his legs. You see that?
I see that. Yes, I do. He's got a very specific gait for sure. And look how tight his backpack's on. It like doesn't move when he bends over and stuff.
And there's a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah. And it looks like it's like pulled nice and snug. Oh, someone said, what if he's ringing the doorbell? Because there is blood, so there could be something to that. Ringing
That's
the
why there
doorbell.
was
Holding his
interesting.
hand like this so that it doesn't look like that, because then maybe she won't open the door.
Yeah, but you still want to do it that way. You still cover more. And what you probably would do is stand to the side and then cover the hole. Like any way of being seen out the door. You know, when I was in law enforcement, that's what we did. We would knock on the door and then put our hands on the people. They couldn't see that it was the cops outside. See, he walks up.
The camera wouldn't be the people, right? So maybe he was, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of why they would do that. That is weird.
He's walking funny. He's trying to hide his gait. That's why he's walking like that there. Or he's got something in his leg there.
Maybe.
I don't know. He walks funny. We have Jeannie Morganson 4207 saying he has a bite light in his mouth. Yeah, he's got a light in his mouth.
Thank you, Jeannie.
There are 2 windows on each side of the door. Yeah, so you'd probably want to get in very close. All right, let me see if there's anything coming out real quick. Let's see, Nancy.
There didn't find a camera on the roof or something that maybe the person didn't realize was there. I hope that caught something.
There was a camera.
Something.
Let's see. A lot of people were just kind of throwing out names. But nothing concrete.
Yeah, I wonder if they knocked, but I wonder if she would answer the door at 2 a.m.
I don't know.
Because if she did answer the door, it would make sense of something happening right there and then going out the back because the back door was just wide open. Unless they were doing that to throw them off or something.
Yeah.
Why do you think the back door was wide open?
It may be to throw people off. Like I said, he was trying to hide his exit, in my opinion, with the light. I mean, with the doorbell cam. And I remember looking at the pictures of the and the images of the blood on the floor and seeing that there was all this, like, what was it? It was like the plants. Well, now we know how the plants got there. You know, I was wondering how the plants got there on the front of the door.
And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my God. And then I heard somebody on Nancy Gray saying about how, like, it looked like there was debris on top of the blood. And I was like yelling at the TV, like, there goes the plant thing over there. And it doesn't have any more of the flowers on it. Like, I think it's the flowers.
Yeah.
Or whatever you called it, brush.
Yeah. So flowers, this just says brush. Here that a person detained for questioning. Pima County Sheriff's Department, with assistance of FBI, have detained an individual for questioning in connection to the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. A law enforcement official briefed on the investigation told ABC News the individual was detained in a location south of Tucson, the source said, and law enforcement is preparing to search a location associated with the individual. The development followed the first images released a masked man approaching the Nancy Guthrie's front door as investigators continue to search the neighborhood. And so there's a little bit of a timeline here. So at 1:47, her doorbell camera disconnects. So all that happens at 1:47. That he's doing that outside. And so he was out there probably a few minutes, you know, doing whatever it is that he's doing before he disconnects the front doorbell camera. And then another camera software detects a person on camera, but no video is available. And that's at 2:12 a.m. So that's some time later. That's almost half an hour. That
is a long time.
And it sounded like they said that they couldn't determine if it was a person or an animal. And given where the location of where they searched, which was out, behind the house in the brush and all this other stuff, I feel like that was where they felt that that she went. It shouldn't be too difficult to find some sort of clue. It seemed like she was bleeding pretty heavily, so you would assume you'd be able to see some sort of trail. You know what I mean? But it appeared that they were
Yeah, but it didn't look
heavily.
like there wasn't one.
I mean, from the
Do you mean
photos
like
that
through
we
the blood?
saw, huh?
Do you mean through the blood in the front?
Right, from there should be some sort of
Okay.
trail. I mean, I would assume that she continued to bleed unless she fell down, and the reason why she's sitting there for a minute, maybe the person went back into the house, grabbed something, and then came back out, and then applied pressure on whatever it was. You know what I mean?
That's a good point that it doesn't continue to go out. So could it be that it happens at the front door and then goes inside?
It could be, and I just think there's a possibility there that they could have gotten some sort of Band-Aid or some sort of
That's
cloth
true.
or whatever. Uh,
So that they don't have a trail.
exactly, but I don't know. But there was some blocks. There was some blood drops along the walkway, is what people were saying. Interesting.
Wow.
And then it's the next day at 11:56 when relatives responded to her home and discovered she was missing. Which is interesting. Like, one of the things that bothered me about it being like a kidnapping, and that was the whole purpose of it, was the fact that they said that she was, scared and alert, but they didn't contact any of the family members. They contacted the media, and then not even the media that Savannah Guthrie is a part of. They contacted TMZ and local media. That
That's
kind of
interesting.
Yeah, that kind of made me think that there's a good possibility that um, this was a distraction. They gave no means of talking back or like of communication. They said, "Hey, this is what you got to do. These are the deadlines. If you don't hit those deadlines, then something bad's going to happen." And it kind of screamed to me a distraction. Um, and I felt that if it was a ransom type of situation, then we probably are finding out, or the Guthrie family are finding out, not through going to her house and then getting a ransom note 3 or 4 days later. They're probably finding out that she's missing by the abductors, contacting them. Hey, we have your mom. Give us X amount of money. Blah 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 blah. Going to the media and making this a huge spectacle, and getting police involved and law enforcement. I mean, that's one way of for sure getting law enforcement involved. I mean, in these scenarios, how often are the kidnappers saying, "Hey, we don't want cops, don't call the police or something bad's going to happen." In this scenario here, they basically all but guaranteed that cops were going to be involved by making this a huge spectacle. So I think it was more of a distraction than anything else.
I could totally agree with that. And I would assume that this person had already thought about if they knew who the daughter was, that she was in media, that maybe they were already thinking like to contact media for somebody in media. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like as a distraction more than anything. I agree with that.
Yeah, and so
Unfortunately, do you think she's gonna come home? I mean, it's unfortunate, but it isn't like the odds against her.
see, that's the other thing, right? So maybe perhaps if it was somebody who was familiar with her, and took her medication with them and those things, and maybe that's why it took such a long time for them to get out of the house as well. If those things are possible, then maybe, but if they didn't take any of the medication that she relied on to stay alive, it's possible. I mean, it just kind of depends on the care that she was given while there, but they have not given any proof of life. And it doesn't sound like law enforcement have indicated they found somebody, with this detention. So I don't know.
So sad. I'm hoping that this case, like, I hope they get some kind of closure soon, though. Like, it seems like they're on it, and that they, the FBI seems like they've been on top of this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, once
you
the
know.
FBI got involved, I think it was just a matter of time. They were going to catch these people. There's no such thing as the perfect crime. There's nothing that you can do that's gonna that you're not going to make any mistakes. There's no such thing.
Especially not today in today's age.
It's very difficult now.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I mean, I know somebody's going to say, Daniel, well, then why is the acquittal rate so high for murders and things of that nature, or the arrests, like so many go unsolved? Well, a lot of those are in the past, and two, in this scenario, why it's different is because FBI, is it right? Is it fair? No, but the FBI doesn't get involved in every homicide. You know what I mean? And they don't put in their resources like that into every homicide. In this scenario here, a high profile person and, or at least connected to a high profile person that's going to make huge media news. And I mean, to the point where you had the president of the United States, inquiring in on this investigation. It is, it kind of, to me, says that it's a matter of when, not if. You know what I mean? I think you froze.
100%.
Oh, there you go.
I totally agree with that.
And so let's see if there. No, you're good. You're good.
I said 100%. I totally agree.
Let's see if there's any other news real quick before. Person detained for questioning. That's all that people are saying. ABC Los Angeles. Yeah. So who do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be somebody close? Do you think it's going to be a family member? Do you think it's going to be somebody loosely connected to the family? Do you think it's going to be somebody that's been on the property before? Maybe an employee of some sort, maybe a gardener or a Amazon delivery driver of some kind. What do you think?
I think that, in my opinion, that it's going to be someone that knew of them or knew them. So like knew of the house, knew of the neighborhood, someone that was comfortable. This is just my opinion from the things that I saw in the body, like how they seem so comfortable and stuff like that. Like it seems like they had prior observation already of the home, but that could have been done. Like I'm trying to think, like that could have been done, surveilling it for a day or two. That doesn't necessarily mean that the person had to know the whole home, but it did seem like the person had a prior knowledge of where to go, or like of the routine, or maybe that nobody, because this was my thing. I was thinking, how did that person know to go to that house? Like, what if there was somebody in that house that had like 20 guns? Like, so I feel like they knew that it was, and this is just my opinion, that they knew that it was not somebody with a bunch of, that it was somebody that would be easily overpowered. And they would be asleep in the middle of the night, in my opinion. Don't you agree with that, or no? Like it seemed pre-planned to me. It just seemed like they knew where they were going.
Yeah, it was definitely something premeditated. Somebody planned this out. I think they went in there with some, some knowledge. I think I wonder about the knowledge of the camera there, of the doorbell camera, because at certain points it doesn't look like he was aware. He kind of walks up, but as he's walking up, he also looks down. And I think that maybe perhaps he thought that if he took the camera, they wouldn't find the footage. And so that's why he felt comfortable.
I agree with that. And do you think, I feel like it looked like he mentally rehearsed this over and over, but like you said, maybe didn't physically rehearse it to where like he ran into problems. And that's usually what catches people up, right? The little things, like there was a camera at the front door that still caught you, even though you took it.
Run that by me one more time. Also, Rachel, I got an email, but there's nothing attached to it. There's no pictures attached to it. It's just the text from what you said. And what was that again, Dr. Vona?
Wait, let me think. I'm like, what the hell did I just say? I don't even know exactly what I just said.
In the end, do you think?
I don't even know.
I don't remember.
No, I'm having. It was a long day.
It's been a long day. Do you think that in the end, we're gonna find out the motive behind this, or do you think this is gonna be something that's gonna be quiet? Kind of like we don't know what's going on in Brian Koberger. Do you think we're gonna find I think this one will be easier to piece together the motive.
Oh, for sure. I think even Brian Cooper, I don't know, but that's a different story. But I do think that with this one, usually a lot of like with this one, I have a feeling it's going to come down to something financial. So whether this person thought that there was something valuable in the home or that this woman had extra money that they could rob or just something of value or even I mean, who knows? What if they didn't know about the daughter being, famous? Maybe just looking at the house. I mean, we really don't know, but I don't know why. I feel like this one had something to do with like in a robbery, you're going to gain something, right? So I feel like it was something to gain. But that person went there with a weapon, which means that they were willing to use deadly force. And unfortunately, they may have. They said they might be saying somebody from her church. Could you imagine?
That would be insane.
If that was the case, that is deception on a whole nother level. When somebody uses like the cloth of something like religion to make somebody else, like to groom them or make them feel, that would be psychological altogether. If that winds up being true, we definitely have to do another show.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, no matter
well, I think we're definitely going to do another show. It's going to be somebody.
Yeah, I was going to say, regardless,
it's going to be somebody close. I can almost guarantee you that this is going to be somebody that is and what I mean by close is a friend or a friend of the family. This is not going to be some complete stranger. No way. No way.
No, I agree.
And the fact that the search has been so focused in that area kind of explains that to me as well.
Yeah, and it seems like they've been pretty focused on a specific area this whole time. So I feel like they, like you said before, they have to have a lot more information that we haven't seen.
I agree. I'm going to see if there's anything on YouTube real quick outside of what's going on. I see. Did TMZ post anything? They usually do.
I know, right? Them or Brian N.
Right. Nothing yet. Let me go to Brian N. Let's see what he is doing. I don't know. This is a crazy case, guys. This is insane.
So crazy.
They just say that it's south of Tucson is where this person was detained from.
Do you think it was more than one person?
It could be. There could be more than one person involved here. This hasn't gone long enough for somebody to not slip up yet. Like, what I mean is that if this was something that went on for a few weeks, then I would be like, yeah, somebody would have slipped up. Somebody would have said something. But this is relatively soon still. Relatively soon, in my opinion.
Yep.
Let's see. Michael Ruiz. Let me see if I can find him real quick. I'm trying to dig guys for you. I'm trying.
Yeah. Me too, man.
Let's see. Fox Digital News. Let's see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think we're going to find out that there it is. I got him. DMs are open. 3 sources saying the same thing. That they have one person in custody, but they have not found Nancy Guthrie. So there's the other thing too, right? The other thing is, could the abductor, not the abductor, but could the person who has brought out all the ransom notes, could they have not been involved at all?
Yes, I thought about this and I'm like, what if this, think about all the scams and I just think about the scams that my mom gets that I'm like, Mom, don't ever click on that, don't do that. So I think of all the scams of people outside of the country, even that are, running scams on people here. Could somebody have heard about this and then was like jumped on it? Like, absolutely, that could happen. So I was
one
happy to
already
hear.
arrested.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But I was happy to hear that they only gave $300 because I knew they were asking for $6 million. So when I heard that they had given the ransom, I was like, oh no, I hope they didn't give somebody $6 million. So I'm glad to hear that that wasn't the case.
Yeah. And one person has been arrested. He had actually texted the Savannah and I think somebody else. They found their phone numbers and saying, hey, send the Bitcoin to this address, to this place. And he was not a part of the original ransom note. What he was trying to do was trying to benefit off of it. And he texted them. A lot of people were reporting that there was a lot of like, what's the word I'm looking for? That there was movement at the house, which there was. There was a lot of movement there, but I think it was because they received I finally got it. Let's see. There was a lot of movement there because, in my opinion, they had what's the word I'm looking for? Gotten the text messages, and they've gotten everything in, and so I think they were trying to figure out who that person was, and they ended up making an arrest on that guy, and it ended up being somebody separate. But yeah, this could be somebody just trying to benefit off of the situation.
Why would somebody do that? Like, if that makes you then a suspect in a crime like this, like, what is wrong with people?
That's the $1 million question.
Like, why would someone do that? I don't know. I mean, for money, obviously, but I mean, that could then make them a suspect in even a bigger crime.
I agree. Well, it's going to make you a suspect in a bigger crime and stuff, but like some people just, they're not all there. This guy, I mean, if you saw the picture of this guy, you would have been like, okay, well, this makes sense. I don't know if I still have it, but yeah, no, this guy looked like a complete weirdo.
And I would think some people would want to attach themselves to a case like this because it's high profile and get their name attached to it.
Yeah. So if let's just go down that avenue, that the person asking for the ransom, let's just say that's who they have in custody, but they were not involved in the abduction. Do you think it's back to square one?
Oh, if that's the case, yes. But I don't feel like that's where we're at. I feel like they have, like, I feel like the way that they're, because I was searching on the side too, I feel like the way that this is being reported, I feel like they have somebody. Like, it doesn't seem like it was something like that where, I don't know. What do you think? I feel like they're onto something here.
I mean, they're definitely onto something. They didn't find Nancy. So there's also the possibility that it didn't end well and he got rid of Nancy, which is why they couldn't find her.
I hope they find her.
I do too. That's always the hope, is that these scenarios are, have a positive one. It's just it's been a few days. So let's see. Just detained, not arrested at this time. And so they wanted to clarify that. If this turns into somebody getting released, what would your thoughts be?
It wouldn't change. It wouldn't really mean anything, because I would think that one of the reasons why would they say that it's just somebody that was detained but not arrested, I would think that would mean because if they did identify somebody as like a suspect, for example, then that person can lawyer up so they could stop talking. And then doesn't the clock start, like, as far as having to, go through with an arrest, stuff like that. So I feel like they say that regardless, even if they have somebody that all of us know is a suspect in a crime, I feel like they always say it's not a suspect. But maybe that's just me thinking that. What do you think?
I mean, if the FBI SWAT team is bringing you in, I'm pretty sure you're thought of as a suspect. You're being treated as one. That's for sure. If they didn't come knock at your door and ask you to come in, to the station, and they had the SWAT team around, that doesn't sound like somebody who's not a suspect. You get what I'm saying?
100%. But why do they then always say they're not a suspect, they're just detained, or they're not a suspect, we were just questioning them?
You know, a couple of reasons. I guess it just kind of depends on the scenario. In this scenario here, why would they say that they've been detained, no arrest made? That just may be a schematic thing. You know, he hasn't been booked in, hasn't been formally charged. But I would assume that, I don't know. It's a good one. It's a good one. I don't know why they would say that. But again, this is coming from a New York-based investigative reporter saying these words, not necessarily law enforcement saying that there's a detention, not an arrest. And so if law enforcement said that, you know, we have somebody that we're speaking to, but, you know, we haven't, you know, formally charged or anything like that. Maybe the person's choosing to talk without a lawyer and they're just being real cautious with
That's
what they're saying.
I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if they're like still being conversational, maybe that person wouldn't get scared off in some sense. But if the person gets wind that they might be a suspect of some sort, whether they did it or not, you know, a lot of people that would just trigger them to get a lawyer and then they shut down altogether. That's the only thing I would think of.
So I don't know how true this is. I'm not going to bring it up, but people are saying that my best friend's sister, because my best friend's sister was next to one of the Tomasio's bandmates. Police have been present all day getting updates. It's getting heavier. He's been missing over a week also. I don't know how true that is, but when it starts off with my best friend's sister knows someone who knows someone, I'm a little bit leery about that.
Yeah. I thought you meant it was your best friend's sister, so I was willing to like entertain it, but then yeah, that would be a little bit much.
Yeah, no. Let's see. We can't believe we have to say this, but media on scene, please do not order food delivery to a crime scene address. This interferes with an active investigation. Wow. People were ordering food to the house. That's insane. That is insane.
Wow.
I didn't know that. Okay, so TMZ is saying
I guess
something.
They get hungry.
TMZ is saying something. Person of interest detained for questioning, not a family member.
There you go.
So it's not Tommaso. The TMZ has confirmed the person of interest has been detained. The abduction of Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, a law enforcement source involved in the investigation tells is not a member of the Guthrie family. We broke the story. Our law enforcement source told us that operating theory is that the kidnappers from kidnappers, plural. Our law enforcement told us the theory is kidnappers from Tucson area and wrote a ransom note that was sent to a couple of Tucson TV stations and TMZ. This morning, the FBI released the first images of Nancy's apparent kidnapper, and the feds blasted the footage out to the public on the same day they received the info. As we told you, the abductor is promising to return Nancy to Tucson within 12 hours of receiving the $6 million ransom, which means they currently somewhere within roughly a 700-mile radius of Tucson. There were 2 ransom deadlines, both of which passed. And even though Savannah tried to reach out to the kidnapper, now that's to the kidnapper, and even offer up and pay up, Tuesday afternoon, we noticed activity for the first time on the Bitcoin account listed in the first ransom note that was sent. Story is developing. So interesting stuff. They say, they use the term over here that the operating theory is that the kidnapper is from Tucson. Oh, maybe I read that wrong. I thought I saw kidnappers. It's because I have. Oh, I think I see what I see. I have a wire. The wire's stuck, and it's right between it's covering the space in the S. And so
Gotcha.
it looks like kidnappers from Tucson, but it's not. It's the theory is the kidnapper. So one person, they believe it's one person involved. It's from Tucson. Interesting.
I still wouldn't be surprised if there was more than one person. I mean,
If there was, I don't know if he's carrying all this stuff with him. Let's just
that's
say
true.
somebody.
That makes sense. What do you think that they were carrying in the backpack? It was like packed.
It was. I don't know, man. It looks like possibly a change of clothing.
Maybe.
But why would you need that?
Because you might have done something. That's what I mean. So that to me just says that the person had already thought this out and knew there was a possibility. Because why would they bring a firearm with them?
That's a good point. Let's see. Is there anything else that is coming out? Nothing yet. So we're probably not going to find anything about who this person is, maybe until tomorrow. If charges are formally made, I'll be going live tomorrow if something breaks. What about you? Want to join me if
Yeah, absolutely. If something breaks. Sure, absolutely. Let me know.
Yes, ma'am. Is there we're going to probably just be going in circles now until we find out the name. Is there anything else you want to add on?
Nothing yet, but I will keep digging into this. I do think that it's interesting. I can't wait to see how close AI gets to, because I think that's a cool investigative tool. Like I'm curious to see if it's going to be a man. It said that they were probably right-handed. Again, the shoe size, the height. So I'm just interested to see how right it is. I'm sure they use AI in the FBI.
Huh. Look, check this out. This is the guy's glove. Let's rewind this.
Are they like not doctor gloves, you know what I mean? Like medical gloves?
I think so. Because
over top of possibly gloves?
It looked like there was a tear here.
Oh, yes, it does.
Probably from
that
grabbing.
Could have been from, yes, from pulling out the flowers. Oh, there you go. Boom. That's a tear.
Hopefully that means they can get something. I mean, it's a small tear. It's a big area. Hopefully they can find.
And it looks like there's gloves underneath it.
Yeah, it does. And they definitely look like the nitrate type gloves.
Yeah, they didn't get very strong gloves.
But interesting stuff.
I think I froze.
All right. So there was so this is the doorbell cam. Somebody left some sort of card on the door. This is when they released the crime scene. And before they got it back, somebody, I guess, walked up. It says, "This is a card from an investigator from Adult Protective Services that was left on Nancy Guthrie's front door." It's safe to say this was left before the crime because this picture was taken the day or two and APS would not visit while there was a crime scene and the person was still missing. There would be no reason to do a door knock if they knew the person is missing. Just one more plot twist in a super confusing case. These records are sealed, but it would be very interesting to see what triggered this visit from Adult Protective Services to her house.
That's huge for me.
That's pretty weird, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge clue. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big clue. I think that I would want to talk to that investigator to see why they were called out there to begin with.
I would too.
I noticed there was a few Amazon packages around as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if she came home that night, wouldn't if she walked through the front door, you would think that she would have saw that. I mean, maybe it was dark.
Well, yeah. My guess is that that person. I mean, so they discovered her missing on a Sunday. So when did they leave that card there? Like on Friday? I'm not sure. Adult Protective Services works on the weekend like that, where they do visits. You know, maybe they'll do some surprise stuff, but I don't know.
Maybe Saturday they might.
Maybe. Let's see. Afton, you tagged me on something. Okay, let me see.
Oh, someone said that she entered through the garage when she comes home. But if that's the case, then that means that there is a way to, like, I guess, because you would assume that they would have to pull up to her entrance as close as possible because she has to use a walker, right? So that would, because I was wondering, is there a place to pull up in the back if somebody drove there? And if she goes through the back to get in sometimes, someone said that they think that she goes through the garage to get in. That would just say to me that maybe she doesn't go to the front door as much, and maybe that's why there was still Amazon. Like, there was Amazon packages out there and that card allegedly. So maybe she doesn't go out the front like that often. I know my mom never uses the front door. She uses the side door all the time. So that wouldn't be unheard of.
That's true. That is true. Afton, I'm not seeing anything. You can send it to me on Discord. I'll pull it up. I did see some of the things that you were sharing. This was from EastIdahoNews.com. Person has been detained. It just says people said that the person was detained in the area south of Tucson. Do not immediately provide details. It wasn't clear if the person being questioned is the person captured on surveillance video from the Guthrie house released earlier Tuesday, meaning if that person was the ransom person and they are not related, then just what we said, then that was just somebody that was trying to take advantage of the situation. Let's see. The people were not authorized to discuss details of an ongoing investigation. The person wearing a backpack ski mask can be seen in one of the videos, tilting their head down away from the doorbell camera, nearing an archway at the home of the mother of today's show host, Savannah Guthrie. The footage shows the person holding a flashlight in their mouth and trying to cover the camera with a glove, and a plant ripped from Nancy Guthrie's yard. So let's see. It just says that Tuesday afternoon, authorities were back near her neighborhood using vehicles to block her driveway. And then they went door to door in the area where her daughter, Annie lives, talking to neighbors, as well as walking through a drainage area and examining the inside of a covert with a flashlight. So interesting stuff. I'm going to check.
So interesting.
I'm going to check my Discord real quick.
Harlot said that Ann Jeanette Levy reported that they're searching the detained person's house.
Mm-hmm.
And Ann Jeanette Levy, she's reliable.
Yeah. I agree. Let's see. Okay. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that this person is wearing, like I said, the glasses underneath. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
That would be so interesting.
Now, do they know who's the detained person is in the Nancy channel? Okay, let me check it out real quick. Sorry, guys. We are. This is what happens when you're on a live show. All right, let's see. Suspect
I was going to say, this is a
reportedly
live
listening.
investigation. People love this.
This is. Okay. Earlier today,
Yeah,
Pima County
and we get
Sheriff
to chat
Department.
about
Yeah. Pima County Sheriff's Department deputies detained a subject during a traffic stop south of Tucson. The subject is currently being questioned in connection to the Nancy Guthrie investigation. All right, so this was a traffic stop. Now, I'm assuming that they pulled him over knowing that the person was their subject. Or do you think that this was a scenario where they pulled over somebody and somebody may have said something during the traffic stop?
I think they knew who it was before they pulled him over. Nancy Grace always says there's no coincidences in criminal law.
I agree. That's kind of where I'm leaning to as well. I wonder, they pulled him out over south of Tucson. I wonder if this person was leaving.
Was what?
Was fleeing.
Leaving. Oh, fleeing. Interesting. Maybe that's why they pulled him over.
So they're going to say there's no press. So this is from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. No press conference scheduled at this time. And they're just saying that somebody was detained at a traffic stop. We'll find out some more. Do you have any final words?
What's that?
Do you have any final words for everybody?
To keep on investigating. I think that's great that people are putting their heads together to try to figure this out. And I like that, that they're listening to the public too. I do think it's terrible that there's people out there that would put themselves in an investigation just to get cryptocurrency and stuff. It's just, that's disgusting. But yeah, I look forward to continuing to figure out what the hell's going on here.
I will say this. My last words are, if the person that was detained south of Tucson also lived in the neighborhood and lived in the area and was fleeing, I think they got their guy. And so I'll be back on tomorrow night, guys. Again, I want to thank everybody that wished me best wishes and prayers and everything that had to do with my accident. I truly appreciate it. I'm still kind of feeling it. And so kind of why I've been leaning back a lot. I apologize for not sitting straight up or sitting upward.
I was going to say, don't lie. You were in so much pain before we came on here. It is what it is. You got hurt.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't do the show yesterday. I couldn't do it the day before. I had a Steelers stuff that I usually talk on Mondays. I couldn't do that either. And so this one I'm getting to the end. I can't take it no more. You guys have a good night. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'll be back on tomorrow night once we find a little bit more information. And go follow Dr. Vona. Let's get her up.
Yes.
How many subs do you have?
I'm up to like almost 4,700. So let's get me to 5,000, everybody. And let's get DT to, what is it, like 60,000. Let's just get us both to like 1 million. Let's just dream high.
Let's go. Let's do it. Aim for the sky. Exactly.
Let's do it.
See you guys next time.
Thank you for having me. Maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you. Bye-bye.